Hi, my name is Elina Ojakangas, and I'm a painter from Stockholm, Sweden. I started doing art very early because my grandmother, she was a painter. And so she taught me how to paint with watercolors when I was very little. And so I've always been drawing and painting with watercolors since I was very young. And later on, I became a tattoo artist. And I worked as a tattoo artist for 10 years. And while I was working, I didn't paint that much. And so one day I just decided that I wanted to learn how to paint with oil colors. Which was something that I hadn't really done before. And so for me, it was kind of as a way of handling with stress. And I remember the first time that I painted with oil, and it was just this amazing feeling of understanding a medium. And I just immediately fell in love with oil. And in the beginning, because I didn't really have that much time, I just started painting nights, and I was just looking for information wherever I could find it. And after a year, I just kind of decided that it was time for me to stop tattooing and just paint on full time. And so I applied for art school, which I'm right now in art school, or I have 2 months left. So I've been here for 2 years, and I love it. I love painting, and this is really something that I want to do for the rest of my life. So I don't have any regrets of changing my career or anything. And so my biggest influences, well, I do kind of find it hard to really answer to the question, because I feel like I change, like who I get inspired by, like all the time, because I just love looking at art. I love to get surprised by art, and I love art that's a bit surreal, bizarre, maybe you could say. An art that's very well made, that you can just really see that the artist has taken their time to create it. But yeah, I change all the time who I'm influenced by. So right now I'm focusing on a series of how would I explain here? Like human creatures, maybe. They're very pop art, surrealistic. They are people, but not really human. I think I would maybe that's the best way of explaining them. But it's a bunch of different large paintings. And yeah, I'm focusing on right now just painting. I paint all the time and just loving it, and just kind of trying to get out there in the world with my paintings. So the biggest challenge of being an artist, I would say, is when you're not an artist. Everything around being an artist. Running a business, and all of the things that are not painting or creating art. Yeah, definitely. Because, you kind of just want to create all the time, and it's hard to structure your time to do all the other things that needs to be done for you to continue to create. So the advice I would give myself would definitely be start painting with oils. because I mean I've only painted now for 3 years, and it's not a regret, but I sometimes wish that I would have started earlier with oils. So that would definitely be my advice to myself: start painting with oil colors as soon as possible. And to have fun. I mean, have fun with art, experiment more, and just create. Yeah, I think that would be the advice I would give myself. So when I paint, I always listen to music. All the time. Even some of my paintings are inspired by songs, or even the titles sometimes can be inspired by different songs. It just gives me a lot of energy when I paint, to have good music in the background. I think some of my classmates can even testify that sometimes I'm kind of like singing, or almost even dancing to the music. But yeah, I love having music on while I paint. The best reaction I've had to my art was it was a classmate that she saw one of my paintings, and she just went completely quiet for a couple of seconds, and then she just said that she couldn't believe that you could paint like that. And I think that's the biggest compliment I ever gotten. It kind of blew my mind, her reaction to my art, and I just really love that. And that's something that I wish people. I'm hoping that more people would maybe have that kind of a reaction. I want to surprise people, and I want people to just feel inspired, and just maybe curious too, I guess. I hope that I would give some kind of positive feeling for people when they see my art. And because I have usually a kind of subtle or hidden narrative in my paintings, I would think it would be very cool if I would have a viewer that kind of would understand what I'm trying to say with my paintings. So I guess maybe just to kind of find a connection to a viewer. I think that's something that I would really want to happen.